go start recording. So today I wanted to share with you guys something that I did with Nadia in our one-on-one session, just so you guys could have an idea of what's coming for your one-on-one sessions whenever you scheduled them. I know that there was like such a funky thing with all of the links being kind of off. So it's finally the right link. I changed it for the other ones too. But I cannot wait to meet with you guys and do our midway kind of like check-in essentially. But with Nadia, one of the things that we did is the beginning of the monthly eval, and I realized I'm not sharing my screen. So whoops. I minimized you, but I didn't share your screen. So one of the things that we want to do is I'm going to be getting a chance to look at your goals, and then we have the option to either open it up for general coaching or get into a specific area that you really want to focus on. So for each of these categories, just like what we talked about for the monthly eval, I want to see how you're feeling halfway through the program with things like presenting, delivery, planning. And if you just want to rank where you're feeling right now and then go with it, that's totally fine. However, something that I think that would be really helpful for everybody, and I've been trying to figure out a way that almost like thinking about like a nurturing sequence for you guys to be doing in your managing leads is something that we talked about that I was like, I feel like everybody could use this and see where my mindset is. So I think that a lot of us are like friendly-ish humans. It's like we want to get to know humans. We are like, oh, we love talking to people in person, but online it can feel really funky. And so one of the things that it it can get hard online because like Nadia and I were discussing after you get to like, okay, hi, nice to meet you. How do you further the conversation? How can you figure out the next step if they're actually interested in becoming a client with you? So, what we talked about is a protocol for each. So, essentially, the way that we want to go about having a protocol to reach out to people is there are different ways for people who are different pieces of followers. So, there's going to be the outreach to brand new people, and then there's the nurturing for current people. And the way that we essentially want to go in a process of any way that we're like going around like talking with people is we want to go to introduction opt-in, and you always want to end with a question. So welcome, hi, nice to meet you, hope you're having a great week. I want to know a little bit more about you. Tell me a little bit more about you. That's the first opportunity. That question is the opportunity for them to go to the next stage with you and opt in at like to just say, hey, this is what's going on for me. That is furthering the conversation. And I'm reading a book, I'll send you guys, well, I'm listening to a book called Spin Selling. And Fitzgerald's doing the most. But one of the things with spin selling is they talk about how it's like an acronym, and I forget what the acronym is, but essentially the goal is to always move the conversation forward. So it's like, what is the next like level of, and I want you to think about like the next level of our friendship, like where are we going with this friendship? So we're like, okay, we've got the, hey, I hope you're having a great week, opt in, let's further the relationship. Then, okay, great. Thank you for sharing that with me. I know so many people like are in this world, and like this was like if it's like vague, if we don't know a lot about them, this is if they're specific. So it's like different if it's like someone who actually, in Nadia's case, she coaches. So for her, she would be like, I know something about your business. I can give something specific about your business to make me stand out, to be like, I'm not just sharing this with everybody. I think that the videos, if you're sending people videos to be like, hey, thank you for following me, I think that already gives you an advantage as far as most humans. I was talking with this woman who runs ads, and she was saying like that's the difference is like the people can run ads all day, but if people don't know, like, and trust them, then you can get 100 leads, 200, 100,000 leads, and they're not going to go anywhere unless you actually show that personal connection. So that's what we are doing either with our messaging or with our videos. Then we want to get to know their goals in a deeper way. So being like, okay, so what are your goals this year? Right now is like the perfect time to be reaching out to people because it's the start of a new year and they probably have some sort of resolution, some sort of goal. So we want to start talking with them. Hey, what are your goals this year? And then if you we want to give them a chance to opt into a further an even deeper connection with you. Now, at each stage, we want to be like kind of creating an exchange of information that feels really good for them. So you could even share it's like one of my goals this year is to I was like, he's just doing the most. I don't know. I've never seen him climb the walls before. Sorry if that is distracting. I was like, let me just like change my camera angle. Um, nope, he's just gonna do it. So, anyways, so within that, when we're thinking about like the next level of opting in for your people, we want to create like it could either be like an email list, a post that you did, a webinar, something where it's like, hey, that's awesome. Let me give you something else. We want to always be like giving them more in the relationship. Like, have you ever had a friend that like just like is always so generous and is like the best? And you're just like, oh my God, like every time I hang out with them, I feel better. They're such a great host. They are like every time, like we want to create that online. So being like, "Hey, it's like, I'm so glad you're here. So nice to meet you. Tell me more about you. I want to get to know more about you." And then it's like, "Okay, what I love that. What are your goals? Tell me more about like what kind of things you're thinking about." And I also it's like, "Do you want this?" Like it's like I've got this like if it was like an actual store and be like, "Oh my gosh, I've got the perfect sweater for you." I was like, "I have a sweater that like I think would look really great on you. Do you want to like take a look at it?" It's like it's just like a genuine fun relationship that I think that is difficult to see a little bit of the time and then get into like their deeper goals and see if they're a good fit eventually, you know? That could be cool. If anybody's doing a webinar that's coming up, you can introduce your webinar there. And so that's like the two pieces, like followers for the nurture and webinar. Now, if you are doing outreach, you want to get the small talk to go somewhere else. So we want to get the small talk to go from being like, "Hey, so nice to meet you. It's like I've been doing this for years. I want to hear a little bit more about you. Okay, who do you help? I want to hear a little bit about that." Like just small talk, have some more conversations, and then be like, "Hey, also, by the way, it's like I know that like this is something that's going on. It's like, how are you finding this situation?" And Alicia, I see you. I'm gonna call you in just a second. But it's like when you want to do that, you want to be like, "Hey, it's like, tell me, it's like I know that marketing can be an adventure. Tell me about that for you." If your pillar is like, I know that like if let's say it's confidence, right? Let's say it's a pretty broad one. It's like I know that the beginning of the year is like when we start strong. I want to know like how are you feeling about like starting strong this year? Do you have any goals? Like getting to know them as a person and then opting in. And then this is like some examples from other clients that I had. So I just wanted to share that to start. Alicia, tell me,
Hey,
dive
Megan, I
into
just have a question.
yeah, yeah.
Or a couple of questions actually. When you say video, send a video, are you thinking just a general welcome video that's the same for every person? Or are you saying create a quick video,
I
for each person,
So I
like
like
make
to
it
do the
personalized?
same for each I like to actually do the same and I'm going to send it to everybody in the classroom
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
So
Generic
I'm
video.
going to it's a generic video and like you literally like I just go in and I'm like, "Hey." And I like told my friend I was like even like touch your eye, like you want to just be like casual about it. And I'm like, "Hey, so nice to meet you. I'm Megan. Like, if you need anything, you let me know." You could even
Okay.
go more forward at that point if you're doing a webinar, be like, "Hey, thanks for following me. I'm actually doing a webinar. Would this be helpful?" You could ask them a different question about their business. So you could be like, "Hey, it's like I would love to know a little bit more." It's like I know most of everyone who comes to six figure systems is looking for some business. Tell me, it's like, do you have any what are your goals for 2024? For you specifically, you could be like, "Hey, do you have any hikes planned for the 2024?" It's like, "I know I'm doing this, this, and this." And then
Mhm.
it feels like an exchange of information and a conversation versus like an interrogation. That
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the goal. We do not want it to be like, tell me about you. I want to hear only about you. It's like we want to have like an exchange as well.
Right. Okay, I got that. So for me, just I get people into my world two ways. They well, primarily they see my ad, they opt in for my lead magnet, they get on my email list, and then they will go and request to be in my Facebook group, or they just generically come to my Facebook group. And when I have messaged all new people in my Facebook group in the past, that has been a big zero for me. I don't know if Instagram DMs are just better than Facebook Messenger. Like people just don't see
Mhm.
that if you're not friends. So, so how can I just do this with my, okay, as I'm thinking through this, here's what I need to do. It's something someone told me a long time ago to do, and I just need to do that. So on my thank you page for my opt-in, I just need to put a video on there probably.
I would say that
Or do I email them a video?
so okay, so they get the ad and they give you their email, they get into your email list and then they join your Facebook group. So one
Hmm.
of the things that you could do is you could what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to I don't know if you guys saw the Instagram audit, but I am doing an Instagram audit in my Facebook group because that is something that I could get like a little bit more information about and then I can have the conversations in Instagram. So like that was my goal with the Instagram audit is to figure out everyone's like if I've got their Facebook information, have a conversation with them in Facebook or have a conversation with them in Instagram. But then with the email, sometimes people don't always respond to emails. That's what I found personally. Do you find that they respond to you like if you were to individually email like Sarah on your email list, would she respond?
Yeah, I tried doing that too. And we talked about reaching out to 10 new people, right? And so I kind of did a concerted effort to like everyone who clicked on my consult link to just email them personally and say, hey, um, thanks for your interest. I'd be so happy to chat with you more. Um, if you want to tell me about what some of your goals are, just reply this email or, I can get you set up for a phone chat. Obviously, I said it more eloquently than that, but,
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
and I have had zero response from that effort
How many
too.
people I was like, how many people were was it?
Mm, I mean, probably 30.
Okay. Which is great. Okay, so we've got 30 warm leads. If they're clicking on a consult link, that's awesome. And how many are we looking to launch again? Are we looking to let's think about your objective and let's make their objectives match.
Mhm.
So would you like some one-on-one clients? Do you want to put more people in the group? What would you like to do? What are your goals?
Um, well, I would like to put more people, I would like to launch my Hiker Fit program.
Okay. Wait,
Um,
which is the same one that was in December?
no, that was my knee pain group.
Okay, so the Alicia, like
I know. Hang with me, Megan. I
I'm
haven't.
hanging. I'm hanging.
Try.
Do
Oh
we
my
have
God.
a new offer? If we have a new offer, that is fine. I just want to be clear about like
It's
what is
it's
this?
not a new offer. It's one of my
Okay.
it's my graduate offer that I'm trying to funnel everybody into. It's a
Okay, so but this is an internal launch. This is not for anyone who is
no,
like you're
this
not
is
going to market it.
no, I am going to market it. I'm going to open it up to people. So
Okay.
this is my low
That's fine.
ticket general fitness offer.
Okay.
I didn't mean to get all complicated here. I just want to
No,
answer
no, no.
the
I was like
question.
it's a good because depending on what your goal is, we want to figure out that. So okay, so healthy hiker is one-on-one, right?
Correct.
That's full.
No, it's not full.
Okay. Would we like to okay, here's the thing. How much is hiker fit?
It is right now I'm charging $1,000 for 12 months. It's a group program.
Okay.
It's just a general fitness program. They're just subscribing to an app and
Okay. So you're thinking of it. Okay. So you mentioned last week that you would like to create 5K of profit. And I'm not sure what the rest of your goals are for 2023, but here is my thought. Why would you like we can totally work on the hiker fit. And I actually did this it's so funny. I had the exact same conversation in the afternoon group last night or last week. So hiker fit is $1,000, 1K 12 months. Whereas the healthy hiker is 48
yeah,
and 6 months.
yeah.
So I'm
I
just
know.
like
You're
it's
right.
like well, that's what I'm thinking, and I'm glad. Have you started marketing to Health Hiker Fit?
No, I haven't. Y'all, I don't have any makeup on. I haven't even dried my hair this morning. Nobody else is
Totally
watching,
fine. Zero
right? You're not
judgment
posting
here.
this online.
I will not. I was like, I already got my picture. I will not, but I just want to know what are the thoughts
I
here?
feel like I have to show my face at this.
You have
This
to
is
come
so
clean.
this is so embarrassing. You're totally right. I mean, you're totally right.
How many spots do you have for Healthy Hiker?
I have a bunch of one-on-one spots open. I don't
How
want to
many?
get I don't want to get
How many would you like to fill to
okay.
feel like great?
That's a better question. How many would I like?
Like you can have. I mean, like I could coach 40 people a week. Your girl doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, for reals.
I would cry.
You know what? I would be happy with 5 new clients. Like that seems 5 one-on-ones. That seems totally doable.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, if we just have 5 one-on-ones, right? That would
Mhm.
be 4,800 times 5. That's $24,000 for 6 months, or not 6 months, but if you did that, geez.
Yeah.
Then if you did that this times twice a year, if you just had like 5 consistent one-on-one clients, that'd be
Mhm.
4,800. Oh, that's dumb. But like for the year. So that's
Yeah.
pretty decent, in my opinion. So if with Hiker Fit, are you thinking that there would be there? So it's like, so this would be 48K if
Mhm.
you coach 10, 5 people twice a year
Yeah.
versus 48 people for the Hiker Fit program.
Mhm.
Do you think if there, and what I'm thinking is what if there are just, I am sure that of your ginormous Facebook group, there are 5 people who probably would love to do this right now. And then I think there are also probably 48 people who could be very interested in Hiker Fit as well. I'm just
Right.
thinking about like if I'm trying to make 40K in an easy way,
Right.
in the simplest way, so that we can just like have that profit, just like, or like the revenue just like coming in, and
Mhm.
then we can go to work learning how to sell a new program.
Mhm.
I think that that is a strategically, that's where I'm coming from. But I want
Yeah.
to hear what you're thinking.
You're right, but I'm thinking nobody wants to pay $4,800 for a one-on-one. So that's what I'm thinking. There you go.
Mhm. Okay, so that's okay. I was like, there we go. I was like, no one wants
Because I
to.
haven't had a consult in ages. So I'm like,
Okay, how long?
we talked about this last
Let's give
week.
it a
Here.
let's
All
give it a
right. I'm even
number.
turning the light on for you, Megan.
Oh my gosh, I feel so honored. We're gonna illuminate this and clear it right away.
Hi. I thought I got all this cleared up last week. Apparently not.
I know we're just like doing just like I honestly think whenever I have a thought like no one wants to pay for this, it usually takes me like daily, multiple times a day, multiple weeks to try and like clear it out. So, and guess what? You can still make a lot of money with these thoughts, and it's totally fine. But let's just like, because it just doesn't feel as great when you're selling something, you're like, nobody wants to pay. Doesn't feel wonderful. So, I want everyone to think about like your goals,
Oh
and I
my
want you to
God.
write it down, like just like in general, outside of Alicia. And I would love for you to think about what is the thought that comes up when you think about those goals. So
And you
for
know what I'm
you,
thinking? I'm thinking like I'm fooling myself into thinking like this is my introductory offer. This is how they get to know, like, and trust me. But in the back of my mind, there's a sneaky little thought like I'm going to trick them into working with me. Isn't that
Heck 'em.
crazy? Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
It's gonna knock 'em. Okay, so if we think about that, it could be a piece of your funnel. The percentage of people that you would it's like and the time and the effort. Let's say I'm sure of those 48 people, and it's probably gonna be way more that join Hiker Fit. It's gonna be awesome. We love this. But I'm sure that a percentage would like to do Healthy Hiker. But let's think
Mhm,
about that funnel, right? They
mhm,
do a whole year of Hiker Fit, and then we give them the upsell after a year to join Healthy Hiker. That would take a year to get those 5 new clients in, whereas I think that there are 5 people ready right now that we just want to give them an opportunity to see how much they really want this. Now, if we've got the thought no one wants to pay for that when we were talking about that last week, if we're thinking about like your pillars, maybe no one wants it's like we just need to really sell yourself on your offer,
mhm.
which is like it's your thoughts. So that's pretty wonderful news. It was like, great news. We just need to have better thoughts about your offer.
Yeah.
So, because it's like, if we just want to like do what I like, we're just going to put up a roadblock, your brain's going to be like, no one wants to pay for that. And we're going to be like, thank you, brain, for offering that. But let me give you 5 reasons as to why somebody wants to pay for it. Why would
Mhm.
someone want to pay? So, anytime you hear your brain braining and being like, nobody wants this, I haven't had a consult in ages. I want you to give me 5 reasons why the alternative is true.
Isn't that what I said last week? Something dramatic like that.
It was like it's brains. Our brains are braining. We need to normalize the drama, find something humorous in said drama, and move forward instead of judging it.
I know. I
How long
know.
has it been since you've had a consult?
Ages, girl. I'm telling you,
I
it's been
what is
ages,
ages? This is not a word.
like
This is not a
millennia.
number.
Been millennia since I've had a consult.
Has it been a year? Has it been 2 years?
I think it's been 6 months. To be honest, I think it has been standby.
Love,
No, I had one in October, actually. I
love.
had two in October. One
Oh
of
my
them
God.
signed. So it hasn't been ages. Oh my gosh.
Ages!
I had
I didn't have a
three
consult
in
for
October.
7 months.
I had four in October.
Oh my
November,
God.
December.
Okay.
Only been two
So
months. Oh, that feels so good.
4, you know what I mean? So it's like, right? Because what are your thoughts now?
My thoughts are I took the holidays off and so did everyone else. It's fine.
Perfect. Okay. The holidays off
Hmm.
and everyone else did. So when was the last time you actually wanted a consult?
Um, I mean, I did that knee pain launch in December.
Did you actually
Uh,
want consults from that though? I think we
October.
discovered last week that we didn't actually want
Yeah,
anybody
I didn't want them. Right.
because you were like, yeah, it's a lot of work. Ugh. So it's like genuinely, I think the last time you might have wanted a consult was in October when you got 4.
Yeah, probably so. Okay.
Okay. So I want you to think about like, is it true that no one wants to pay for Healthy Hiker?
No, that's not true because people have paid for it.
Okay. How many?
Yeah. How many have paid for it? I don't even know. 50
And
people, maybe?
okay. And Nadia, I'm sure, has some badass thoughts. We're just gonna bring it in. So 50 people have paid for the Healthy Hiker. We're just gonna give your brain some C's. What about give me some more?
Um,
How is the Healthy Hiker like so badass? How is
uh,
it worth 8,400?
yeah. Well, it's 4,800, but
I'm saying that's why I'm saying like how can we push your brain to be like it's
oh, oh,
actually
oh, oh,
worth
oh, I
like
got you.
10K and they're getting it for 4,800.
Okay. So, yeah, so I put in my email yesterday that I mean, people get results. Like I have a client who's just about finished with me. She's walked 200 miles since we started. Um,
Jeez.
and so, in the last 6 months, she's had 200 miles of training walks. And um, So yeah, people get results. It helps them stay accountable. It helps them achieve their goals, even when the days look like, you know, they don't feel like it. When you zoom out, it's been, they make progress.
Mm-hmm. Give me more. Ooh.
Um, they, it's efficient, you don't waste your time. Um,
Because you get a nutritionist, physical therapist, personal trainer, coach,
right,
all in one. It's a
right.
one-stop shop for your best hiking experience in 2024. Give me one more.
Um, it ensures that that hikers pay attention. What am I trying to say? I don't know how to say this succinctly, but one of the things
Say
that
it.
I get feedback on is just that, like, life happens, illness happens, uh, parents die, blah blah blah, and it keeps you supported and focused on your goals even when life gets hard, so you can stay true to yourself. I've had too much coffee or something. I can't even think this morning.
I was like, but like, look at that. Stay true to yourself. And I was talking with one of my clients and my coach yesterday, and they were like, life is going to happen whether you're making money or not making money. But if you make money, it's easier because it's one less problem to solve. Not that life is better, not that you're a more valuable human if you make more money. It just like cuts down on potential problems. So it's like, same for this. It's like life is going to happen whether they choose to go for their goals and stay true to themselves or not. But it's a lot better when you've got someone to support you and actually stay true to your goals. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think, how would you feel if right now we said, hey, we've got 5 spots open. I would love for you to join the Healthy Hiker program. It's one-on-one, 6 months. Who's in? You get a physical therapy. You become more confident. You can become healthier. You get a physical therapist, a personal trainer, nutritionist, and coach in your pocket all in one. I would love for this year to be the year you actually stay true to yourself and achieve your goals.
Mhm. Mhm.
What comes up? And if you, so here's the thing. Someone has told me like they were like, I wish you could sell your offer for like my offer for me. You know what I mean? I wish that I could just like put you in the ring and just like have you sell this offer. And I think that what they're saying is that like I have really good thoughts about their offer and it's really compelling. And I would love for you if you can learn how to sell the healthy hiker in a really compelling and wonderful way. Imagine how much easier it's going to be to launch Hiker Fit after you sign up those 5 spots. It's going to be a different skill. It's a different model of business, so maybe it's going to be challenging, but at least you'll have confidence that, like, if I could sell Healthy Hiker, I can sell anything. Do you
Yes.
want to do this for your business? Or would you like to? It's like you can always do the alternative. I just want to give you all the facts. I was like, this, I feel, what would you like to do? And I will
Yeah.
support you either way.
You know what? I mean, I think that Hiker Fit is going to be a part of my funnel, like you said. Like, I think that really is what I'm going to be able to scale. But I, I do want to do it for the right reasons. And the right reasons are because I have the demand, and because I don't want to do it from a place of I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want to have to do consults, I don't want to have to. sell. I don't want to. I mean, I'm just being honest.
No,
Um,
I think it's good.
I don't want to, you know, do so many one-on-ones, which I don't, but I realize I have control over that now. Um,
Yes, because I remember when we first met, you were like, "I'm seeing like 24 clients a week," and I was like, "Sheesh." I was like, "Oh." And so I think that it's just like an old thought that like, okay, is like, and if you take on these 5 clients and you're like, I really wish I'd taken on 3, you can always go back.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, does that make sense? Like, I really
Yeah,
think HikerFit is a great program.
I agree.
I do think there's demand for it. I do think it would be,
I'm going to teach you how to sell it. We're going to
okay,
work together. We're going to figure it out. I
okay,
just think that like for now, what if
yeah,
just like in the next couple weeks you sign these 5 clients?
yeah. I'm doing a webinar next week
Perfect.
on resolutions and goals for 2024. And so, yeah, that'd be a perfect time to sell. I was gonna sell one the hiker fit, but it's a perfect time to really sell one-on-one. Like that, let's get really granular and let's make this your best year
And
ever.
every day, I want you to find 5 reasons
Okay.
why it's worth it, why they want to pay for it, and why it would be awesome for you, your business, and them. Belief triad that shit out. Like every day, your brain's gonna be like, ugh, healthy hiker, horf. And you're gonna be like, nope, brain. And if you want to see, I'll put the chaos to cash flow webinar that I did. I can add that. I'll put that
Okay.
in the stream so you guys can see it. But then you can, I think that was the hardest I've ever sold without using testimonials to support me. And I think that would be really cool for, I think that would be cool for you to just like take a gander at and be like, okay, like, and you also like have access to like other people. But I was like, I really do feel like that was like the first webinar where I was like, oh, I get selling hard in a webinar. I was like, oh, I get this. I was like, this makes a lot of sense. And I can talk about things in a compelling way. The other thing I would
Mhm.
offer is if you want to get any feedback on your webinar, feel free to post it in the group because, and just like tell me, like, because for me, I'm doing a webinar on Monday as well. Y'all should come. It's gonna be so great. But it is all about goals as well. And I'm learning how to sell the sell the why, not the what, which is like a big learning curve for me because I feel like a lot of times I give away everything. And I'm like, let me, I actually said someone messaged me and I've never met, and they were like, I found your old social media systems. It's very similar, but like obviously ours is more in depth, but like similar to why I teach her like the marketing calendar. And she's like, it's taken me 2 years of struggle and I made my marketing calendar in 15 minutes because of that. And I was like, excellent. And she's like, maybe someday I'll work with you. And I'm like, and that is why we don't teach as much of the how. Because I'm like, I know I can help her so much more. And I'm like, ah, you live and you learn. Still free resources. But I was like, example of selling the why, not what.
Yeah.
If you want to
Yeah.
see that, just in case, because I know that you're like, it's like I know all brains just kind of go there. So I think that could be helpful. But how are you
Okay.
feeling now?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like
Going back to the original question about like the messaging people. Now we
right.
want to go back to, so they need to be warmed up again, right? So it's like they said they didn't respond to the consult. All 30 of them didn't say anything about the consult. Be like, "Hey, I just want to check in with you, see how you're doing. I wonder if you have any hikes coming up in 2024. I'm actually doing a webinar all about it. Would you want to come in?" So we're
Mhm.
going from a harder approach, which a hard sell is like straight to consult, to a softer approach, like, hey, here's a smaller free opt in if you want to learn more. And then we do the hard sell on the soft opt in. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I can
All
look
sorts of textures.
and Nadia, you asked me about this in the chat, but I can look and I
Yes.
can see like 14 people clicked on my link
Oh, here, I'll
um,
show you.
to sign up for my, um, to sign up for the webinar. And then only one of them actually did. So like I could
So we
go
need to get
back and
people to
just,
jump in and be like, hey, so if you click in different providers, this is what Flowdesk is. if you click into an email, you can see the open rate, how many people actually opened it, how many people clicked. And then if
Mhm.
you click view details, this is only in Flowdesk. And then you can see sent, delivered, opened, clicked. Click here. And then you can see the different links that people clicked on. So I can see that one person clicked this
Mhm.
person. I don't know who they are. But then you can go to like YouTube and you can see like the total clicks. But I can see that like this doctor, somebody clicked multiple times. So that's why it changes. And then also Nadia had, I'm sure you had a thought at the beginning. I wanted to come back to circle back after we talked about like the outreach. But
Yeah, every platform I'm sure is different. Mine is different than that, not quite
does it
as,
look similar though?
but
Like,
but similar. Yeah, you can see
yeah.
your open rates and then you can see your click rates and then you can find out, get more granular and find out which link they clicked on.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, is that just, can I just ask a quick question? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
just from your email and not like, because I know I just have a link tree at the minute as my link. Like, are you able to find out, because it does say on Linktree, like, however many people click this link, but it doesn't tell you who.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I think maybe I was like, I think even Acuity doesn't tell you. Does anybody like, do you have your platform as Acuity for scheduling, Nadia? Or
For
is it
email,
Calendly? I was saying, so to book a consult,
Calendly, sorry, Calendly.
is it, okay, because I don't know the scheduling page link. I was like, I don't even know if I could see even an Acuity that I'm like paying for. I don't know if I could even see.
Yeah, it's okay. It was just out of interest because I
That would
know
be
on
helpful.
email you can, I know that you can do that. I don't use who you use, but I know you can click and see who's opened it and all that
Mhm.
jazz. But it's more for me, I just thought it'd be interesting if you know who clicked on the consult link.
I know. I
Okay,
From
wish.
social, I don't know how, I don't think you can from social.
no worries. Okay, thanks.
Of course, of course. So I I was telling another one of my clients last week. I was like, I think that the expectation with outreach is a little different than maybe some people expect. So for my webinars, I was like, I've done a fair amount of them. I want to just share with you guys. For the overcoming burnout one, I messaged I think like 120 people and nobody came. Like at all. No one even registered. Confidently making decisions. I think like three people registered, and I think my mom came live because I was crying. I didn't even tell like her about. There was like another one that I did. I haven't even posted it because I was like so devastated. It was just like on it. I marketed for 6 weeks, 6 weeks consistently every day. Nothing. Goal achievement. I think I had like four people come, one of which my former partner and my mom. It's like so it was like two people. So it's like I want you to see that like the road to getting all the humans to actually respond and sign up with you might be a lot of rejection and or non-existent messages. But if you keep up the consistency, then you've got data. Then you can be like, okay, I messaged 120 people and nobody booked. Interesting. Okay, next webinar, I messaged 120 people and four booked. Interesting. Okay, this time I messaged 120 people. So then you've got better data that you can scale versus being like, I'm just going to post and hope for the best, you know?
Yeah.
Because, yeah,
Well, that's what I was saying to Alicia last week, because for your other webinar, you got 100 signups.
I
So
know.
that's like huge. So if you're looking at the big picture of the funnel, the where you work on is getting more people of the signups onto the webinar, which will increase the conversion. Because your signups, like, and I just went and looked while you were talking there, right? And you've got 2,000 people of your ideal client in a Facebook group who see you as an authority. I'm like, sell to those people.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely
Trying.
what?
Do you think no one, why would they be in this Facebook group if they didn't want to pay for it?
Exactly. I'm like,
Like,
there's at least, and all you're looking for is five. There is for sure five people
this
in
is
there. That's just
exactly
my
what
thought.
All
I,
right, thank you.
because it's like, so literally, but this just goes to show everybody that someone else's C's do not create different T's. Someone else's. So it's like, I have a client who is she was asked to be an expert in a perimenopausal Facebook group, the expert for the group. And guess there are 75,000 people, 75,000 in this group. I'm talking 3 zeros after 75. Like, and I would be like, every day I would be messaging 50 of them. I shit you not. I would send them the video I put in the group and I'd be like, hi, I'm Megan. I'm an expert. I want to help you. Let me know. Hi, I'm Megan. I'm an expert. And she's like, nobody wants this. And I'm like, I need more clarity in my offer. And I'm like, what? I was like, you could sell them nuts. I was like, of 75,000 people, I am sure that 5 will buy literally
Yeah.
anything. Literally anything. I was like, this is my belief. I was like, they are probably wealthy enough that like in a situation in their life that like you could even do a piss poor sell of something that you're completely unclear about. And this would be like, drop in the bucket. Like, that's what I spend on this of 75,000. I was like, that is such a small percentage. So everybody knows you do not need to like, and I don't know. I was like, I'm not sure why I had an audience where I literally had nobody. Like to start, I was like, God, I was like, why don't I just have this situation? So if you're like, man, must be nice to have this situation. And like what I was saying to like Demetria last week, it's like, but then I got scrappy. I was like, I have to figure this out. Come hell or high water, this is my business. If I don't have this, I was like, especially after the breakup when I was literally like living with my parents, I was like, well, then I'm straight fucked. I was like, I have like literally nothing. I was like, there. So it was like, it came from necessity. I was like, I have to figure this out. But now I've created a whole program from it. So it's
You're
like,
like the
there
phoenix,
was a
phoenix
reason.
rising from the ashes, Megan. It's been a wonderful motivational thing to watch.
It's been an adventure on this side. So I'm glad it's been motivational to others. But it all did work out. And it's like, it all does work out for everybody on everything. But I will say that, like, your willingness to put yourself out there as this leader of 2,000 people and be like, hey, I want to get to know you. I want to know your hikes. It's like, tell me about you. I think that maybe, like it's like, how cool would that be? Because remember, we talked about, like, I only really need to make 5K. So, what is the purpose of this? It's to lead a movement of healthier women who are getting outside, spending time with their families, and seeing this as like the next chapter versus like the end of a story. You know, it's a beautiful program that you offer. Let's show the people that you care and you're ready, and let's do the things. And give me a win. 'Cause I didn't ask you for a win because I didn't know if we would be coaching, but I love you.
Thank you, sweetie. I love you too. And some of this, I think, just kind of just what you just said, that is why I started. I mean, why I started was because I saw women who were falling off in, life, and their families were doing things and they weren't able to keep up. And I was like, it just doesn't have to be that way. Um, and being in touch with that. And then sometimes I do know that I retreat behind my professionalism because I still am a physical therapist. And so that personal level of, I just want to get to know you and let's connect and build relationship, like that is really uncomfortable for me. Not if I were on the trail with you and not if we were at a cocktail party, but if I'm in an expert scenario and presenting myself as an expert, then there is that professional distance that comes from,
The
you know,
medical field.
the medical field. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to overcome that a little bit.
I think it's just your thoughts about it though. Like, so
Yeah.
it's like, I think it's like, so,
Huh?
because I'm like, funny enough, I think it might be your thoughts, but it's like when we think about it, like if there was somebody who is in an expert position and they want to help you, and like you had a physical therapist that was like, oh my God, I could totally, if you have knee pain, I'm like, I totally can help you with that. Like I've got some help. It's like if you were at a cocktail party, if you were in a Facebook group where they're asking for your help and they were like, "Hey, I want your help. I've signed up to be here." Then
Yeah,
do you think that
there's another gal who's a PT who has a similar program. She focuses really on arthritis, but um, she's always posting stuff and talking to her audience about like her dog and how she doesn't feel like working out today, and and I'm just like, I don't care. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to see that. Like,
so
that's
nobody
not very
wants what
professional. That's
Like
not very professional.
okay, so it's like but what if she was talking to her people and she's like, "Hey, tell me about your arthritic pain. I really want to help you. I want to write a post about this that's going to help you. I'm doing this webinar about arthritic pain in 2024 and how you can achieve your goals and like have less pain." Would that be professional?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like if we think about it, your brain is generalizing, distorting, and deleting reality based on your past kind of like experiences. And I think it's just like helpful to see. So it's like, I think that what's happening is like you had this memory and experience of this woman, and like you've got values based on the medical field, you've got your beliefs, you believe that maybe there should be more of a distance. Your memories of other people, your attitudes, you're like, oh, I don't want to like be the person that's like sending spammy messages or whatever. The way you think about yourself as a physical therapist, you're like, oh, we don't get into the patient stuff. So what's happening is it's generalizing and deleting and distorting helpful information, and it's causing a result that we don't really care for. So it's like, interesting,
Damn.
brain. Do we want to continue? Now, it's like if this is our current self concept, we can shift that at any time. We can choose to change your self concept, and if you want to, it's totally up to you.
Hmm. All right.
Nadia's got a thought.
Let's hear it.
Sorry, yeah, no, I was just going to say, like, it's just fascinating because you're thinking of like the professional, like the doctor, like it's just like clipboard in hand taking information, and it's different to just building the relationship. Like the way I think of it, like this happened the other day. I'm planning on booking a trip to Disney, right? And I went and found like Disney travel people on Instagram, and I followed a few of them. Now, I wouldn't have followed them unless I was interested in what they were saying. And none of them reached out to me, but if they had, I would have seen that as helpful because I would have been able to ask them the questions I wanted. Like, so it's just a thought that I had, and it's funny when you see it on the other side. I'm like, yeah, if they're especially in your group, like I feel like if they're there, and I just went and read while you were chatting earlier your bio of your group and the problems that they have, and like these all the problems that these people have. So yeah, it's just the way you're looking at it, as it is with all of us. But yeah, I just want to share
Isn't it so much
that.
clearer? It's like I love seeing it in other people, but then I'll have a thought that like I'm like, oh my God, but I'm like not sure. And I'm like, oh, it's like just so that's why we get coaching. But it's like, do you see that? Like I wouldn't have followed them if I wasn't interested. Like
Mm,
they wouldn't be in the group if they weren't interested in the
yeah.
next level.
Yeah. I mean, I have followed some Instagram people, and there's one stylist, and who I really like, and I've, purchased some things from her, and she always says, message me if I can do anything for you. And I messaged her and I was like, I really need help cleaning out my closet. Do you offer any virtual closet clean
Did
outs
she
or
not
whatever?
respond?
Not at all. Not
Yeah.
100%. I reached out twice. Yeah.
Yep. How did it feel on the receiving end?
Terrible. It's like, I need help. And I really think you can help me. Why aren't you helping? Why? Yeah. Yeah.
I really think you could help me.
Yeah.
So I want you to imagine that you follow that stylist and you're like, oh my God, I love her. I'm like liking her posts. I'm like really loving everything that she does. And she reaches out to you and she's like, hey, it's like, how are you doing? Thank you so much for following me. Like, let me know if you need anything. I'm genuinely here in your DMs, proving that it's not just what I'm saying on my post, but I will actually respond to you as a human being and I'm actually here for you. What would happen then?
Oh yeah, I'd have been like Nadia. I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, so glad you reached out to me. This is the problem I'm having. Could you help me? Could you help me with this?" Like, yeah,
So
100%.
glad you reached out.
I would have thrown money at her probably, because like her style is in my budget, and we have similar body types, like all the things, right? It was like a perfect kind of fit, but yeah.
Perfect fit, but it wasn't because of what? Because she decided to be a professional and be like, like, I'm gonna seem approachable, but I'm actually not. Like,
Yeah, that's so good. I'm gonna see.
not ideal, not ideal. Because she probably thinks that like and you might take it upon yourself to like then book a call or something like that. And sometimes like I genuinely like I hope this person doesn't just like say it and like not do anything about it. Sometimes it gets buried in my DMs and I'm like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "I missed this." But did you like I don't think I've ever had someone reach out to me twice and I not respond. And so, because that's the way I want to run my business. So it comes down to like, how do you want to run your business? Do you want to run your business in that way, or do you want to run your business in more of like, and you can do either way, and it can be very successful either way. But is that the way you want the Healthy Hiker to feel? That whole community to feel?
No, I won't no.
How do
Mm-mm.
you want people to feel in your community?
Like we're going on a hike together.
Oh, I love that. So maybe, and like the things that I'm like, I want them to feel seen, heard, understood,
Accepted.
accepted.
Welcome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that professionals always create those emotions when they aren't hanging? So I think this is thoughts for everybody. Like, I want you to think about like, how do you want your business to feel if we get to choose, not based on default, based on our trading or past education or even observations of other people that we respect in the industry? We get to choose now. What do I want my business to feel like? One of mine that I always go back to is like I want people who find me to feel like they've come home. Like that they've just like, it's like I want them to feel like, oh my gosh, like this is my person. I'm home. I like feel so much love and excitement. And I fall out of it, of course, because I'm human and I'm not always perfect, but it's like I always know if that is in like my heart that this is what I want this business to be, then I feel like it will come out. Even if I like don't always say the right things, if I come off too strong in the DMs, if I come off too soft in the DMs, I probably do a mix. And but I'm willing to get it wrong to get it right for them.
Oh, that's so good.
I'll write that down. Because to get it right for them. Like that's how I feel. I'm like, I'm probably gonna do a lot of this wrong. But kind of like I think maybe because I didn't have a business background, that I was like, obviously I'm gonna screw up pretty much all of this, but I will figure it out. I'm like, I will figure it out eventually, even if it takes forever, because more people need coaching in their life and they need someone to support them. And I was like, I actually, so my first client I ever signed, we hung out last night and she just like cried and was like, this was in 2020. And she was like, you have no idea. You've changed my entire life. Me and my partner are still together because of you. I've got this, I've got that. Like, she was like, thank you so much for being that person to get it wrong. Like, thank you for showing up when it was hard, when you went through 7 months of no consults. That was awesome. I was like, that really did feel like eternity, ages. I was like, but it was worth it for her. Like, and to see this now, looking back at it, like I'd do it all over again without knowing it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry to take
How
up so much time, but thank you.
I think it was a very motivational thing for all. So I please never apologize for taking up space, especially in here. Um, does anybody else have any thoughts or who wants some coaching now? That was a really great way to start. Nadia, bring it.
Hey. Okay. So I don't know if I want coaching, but I want help because it'll be both, but I'm going to do a webinar like
Okay.
next Wednesday. So
Oh,
really
also
I
give
need
me a
to,
win. Give me a win. Well, we
oh,
could say that's a win.
I feel like I've shifted since our one-to-one in how I am seeing building relationships, like, and um, with either current followers or even new people. So I feel like I felt like I've had a shift there, which is really, really good.
Yay. Okay, so you got a webinar.
So plan on doing a webinar next week and next Wednesday. So I need to start talking about it tomorrow, but I've
Okay.
not decided what I'm going to do it on. So I just want some help
Yep.
on what I'm going to do.
Oh, you know I've got you. I literally booked, so I was like, I announced my coaching. I was like, I announced my webinar, and I was
Yeah,
like, I was like, don't know what I'm gonna say. So I booked a call yesterday, and I was like, so we're gonna make the outline together. And I have another call today where we're gonna talk through more of it. And I've got another call tomorrow. I've got calls every day. So
yeah,
that's literally like what I want you guys to use like these calls for. It's like instead of taking time outside of your like life to try and do this on your own, let's brainstorm. So if we're thinking about what's going to be the most valuable pillar, the
yeah.
MVP of the January, what do you think? Overall direction, time management, marketing, and we've done one on um so which the engagement system. So we just did one on marketing. We've got that webinar in our like toolkit.
No, because it didn't record. Sorry.
Okay, well, maybe we could I would recommend recording it again and throwing it on your website because people like bitches love this for some like they've gone back and it's like cool to like see. I think they like to see how far we've come. But within that, so you could do one on marketing again, or we could do something else. What would you like to do?
Well, I don't know because I was thinking like, because I want to be like specific with it. I
Yeah.
keep going between like the overarching like building a business, like as in saying like how to build a successful coaching business or how to sign clients and so on and so forth, and then taking them through like these are the four things and giving them basically an overview of my process, right? But then I'm
Yeah.
like, is that too vague? Would it be better to just be like, here's pick one piece and teach that as well as selling my, because as well as selling my the program throughout. But do you know what I mean? Does that make
Yep.
sense?
Yep. And so I think that chaos to cash flow was a general. So you can totally do a general like whole program
Yeah.
webinar. That's
Mhm.
totally optional. I did that because I was in a launch.
So did
Um,
you do that? See, when you did that,
yeah.
was it just giving an overview of all the parts of your process type thing?
Yep.
Because
And
that's kind
I'll
of what
give
I'm
you
thinking. Because I've been
two.
on webinars before and they were like, right, this is the 6 steps, right? And they talk a little bit about each without actually telling you how to do it. And then it makes you think, God, I need all of this. Do you know
Yeah.
what I
So
mean?
so I think that like that could be. So it's like I still would love. So here's my thoughts. So I was like, chaos to PowerPoint. I just want you to have this as an everyone, if you want to see like an example, that would be one of them. Another, so it's like if we are thinking about creating not only like it's like so there are two things. If you are doing a general thing, selling your entire program, that in and of itself is a that is something that you can have in your arsenal and
Yeah,
have it in your
asset.
toolbox, and it's an asset. The
Mhm.
other thing, so it's like there are two ways to think about two different assets. You could have one to be like, hey, here's an overview of the program I talk about in this webinar if you want. There's another approach. And the reason why I say that is like both chaos to cash flow and six figure systems, the webinar that I did, or like six figure strategy was another one that I did. I'll share those with you as well. Those were general. And it was my goal was to sell the group, so I was sharing all of the information about everything, and it was like a hard sell. So I think there's like a
Which
difference.
one? Sorry.
Both chaos to cash flow and six
Mhm.
figure strategy were my
Okay.
hard sell webinars.
Okay.
And I talk about the whole program, the overarching benefits, cash to cash flow. The result was like see an 8 hour work week. Six figure strategy was like, what are the pieces of what are the systems and what am I missing?
Yeah.
Within that, so I just want everybody to know like there are two different kinds of like webinars that you can do. There's like
Yeah.
the hard sell, and I would say when you do, you're always doing a hard sell at the end, but the hard sell would be more of an overview. And then there's like a softer, you know, sell. I don't know what else to say. It was like the opposite of hard. I was like, but that would be more of a like value with hard sell at the end. If we are talking about having trainings on hand for outreach, this could be a strategy for here. So it's like here, I'll tell you like my reasons why for either. So this would be like if you want trainings to be like, oh, I noticed that you're struggling with marketing. I've got this training on the engagement protocol. Would you like to see it? Oh, it's like, I noticed you're struggling with this. So it could just be like another opt in, a
Yeah.
softer opt in. So it's like, that could be like a softer opt in. The hard sell would be to sign clients right now. And I looked back, you would like to sign 8 clients,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, it depends on what your goal is. Now, based on your goal of signing 8 clients, I would say I think that going the hard sell with an overview, I think would be the strategy that I would choose right now
Yeah.
if we're thinking about like where you are at your business right now.
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like, because you can do like just pure value ones, right? But it's not really selling because you're just giving too much. Like that's just to
Well,
build credibility and build authority, I think. You know what I mean?
yes. And I'm trying to learn how to, that's what this webinar is going to be, is where I'm going to learn how to like talk about planning in a way that's like,
Don't tell them. But you know, you're building desire for what you
yep,
need as
yep,
well. Yeah.
exactly.
Like, yeah, I do get that. I'm just trying to think, is it better to be like, you know, I'm trying to think what people actually want that's
Yes.
going to entice them. Because my, like, different to what I was saying to Alicia, right? She had 100 signups,
Yep.
and I don't know how many people showed up live, but like maybe 5 or something. Whereas I had 5 signups, 1 live. So my issue is getting the
People.
signups for the next
So,
one.
which
So that's with like
I
the
like,
compelling title and
what
a
is compelling,
compelling,
right?
yeah.
So, if we think about your whole R line, what is the whole result when people do the coaching accelerator? What is the overall result that they get? For me, when people do 6-figure systems, they make more in less time.
Yeah.
I think for you, yeah, go ahead. I want you to tell me.
Well, I mean, in the most casual way to say it, it's like they get their business up and running. Like they know what they need to focus on. They have like protocols on how to do. You know, we simplify everything. We bring focus so that then when they wake up on the day, they know what they need to do. Do you know what I mean? And then they get coached on all the mind drama that comes around about it. But by the end of it, they are pretty au fait with doing the right things, or not the right things, but you know, doing the structured things that will create clients, that will bring in consistent income, so on and so forth.
There you go. Consistent income and clients. Okay. If we think about the overall result, again, this is like the initial thing. And so it's like we got this. And one of the things that I know we've mentioned is like the time and financial freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom. That I think is like it's like when you have more consistent clients, when you have more consistent income,
Yeah.
then you create that time and financial freedom.
Yeah, because it feeds in. Like if you learn what is your priority and what you want to do, and you only do that, then you don't have to spend hours on hours trying to create content that gets nothing.
Yeah.
So you know what I
Literally.
mean? So it's like,
And what I didn't even realize is like my content not only was it creating nothing, it was creating worse. It was like ruining the algorithm because I was talking about different topics every day. And I
yeah,
was like, so it literally like it
yeah.
not only
Just
didn't
like
help
a
me, it
dog
hurt
chasing
me.
your tail.
And I worked harder. Like I had so many more
Yeah.
posts. I did 7 different topics a week. Christ. It was like literally like, ooh, rough. But if we're thinking about that, the time and financial freedom, that is the heart of it. What is
Yeah.
their deep, deep, deep why? And then you get to be like, it's like here's the why and the how without the what.
Right, wait a minute. So,
Does that make sense? So it's like
no, say
this,
that
like
again.
this. So this over like this is what you teach. It's like I want to teach you the 3 steps to financial freedom. You need to
Mhm,
prioritize, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this so that you can
mhm.
get your business up and running. It's like, so I think step 1 would be know your process, know your focus. Second, create protocols to do everything. 3, execute.
Yeah,
3, execute. 4, coach on mind drama.
yeah,
It's like to create time and financial freedom. It's like this is the time and financial freedom webinar where you learn exactly the 4 steps to get your business up and running.
okay. But then I'm like, is time and financial freedom talking to coaches who are trying to get their business up and running? Like, because at that time, they're not necessarily sitting there thinking, oh, I really wish I had time and financial freedom. You've got to meet them where they're at. They're thinking, I just want to know how to get clients. I just want to coach. Like, I don't want to spend all my time marketing. Do you know what I mean? So it's like meeting them where they're at.
Okay. Okay. So
Does that
it's
make
like,
sense? Do
yeah,
you
yeah. So
agree?
we could just do like 4 steps to get your business up and running.
But up and running, it doesn't sound very desirable, does it? Like, I don't think anyone's like, yeah.
So I did a webinar with Taryn and I put it on my webinars. If you want to look at it, it is called How to Build a Business That Works.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it was necessarily the most compelling like title, but
Mhm.
it was something. And so I
Yeah.
think that like what I'm hearing from you is that like you think that there's going to be one title that will be like the compelling title that will get them to come on
Yeah.
versus like what if we just do like 4 steps to get your business up and running? I was like literally we decided in like 2 seconds. I was like, okay, fine. Like we're doing it. I texted my coach and I was like, can you give me a webinar title for this? It's like, can you just give me a title? I was like, I can't think. I'm having a hard week. I was like, I just need you to tell me what to say. And she was like, guarantee your goal. I'm like, perfect, whatever, I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? I was literally just like, I think you're thinking the title is the difference between 5 and 50 people, whereas I think that it's gonna be a gradual build up, but you can still sign the 8 clients even with a title that's not like, fuck yeah, compelling. It's like it's gonna be a journey to the compelling title. Now that might not be the answer that you were hoping for. I think you were looking for like, but I wanted to see what came up, like, because I think that you might be seeking the title to feel more secure so you can start planning it, but it's next Wednesday. So I'm like, we just kind of need to do something.
Well, I mean, I don't need the title to feel more secure. I do believe that the title, which is the hook, does make a difference on getting more people on a webinar. Because if
Okay.
that's like the biggest shift between people seeing it and thinking, I want to go on. The content could be the exact same,
Right.
but like bringing
So
them in.
the only thing, and you could change the name to it too. Who knows? But I do think that the more time you think about trying to create a compelling hook, like 8 days away.
Yeah.
So I think that like the time you would spend creating a compelling hook versus being like, I'm doing a webinar next Wednesday, you've got to be there. Like I don't like you know what I mean? It's like you could just say
Yeah.
webinar registration, but I think that like I just don't want you to like not market the webinar
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna
to
just
like
pick one and go with it. Probably
okay,
the biggest thing for me is actually what I'm going to teach in it. Like when I said, like,
yep,
is it um sorry,
that's
I got
literally like
distracted.
you know what's so funny? I can I literally just got coached on this yesterday and I was like, okay, I can get on board with that. But I was like, but what am I actually teaching in this? Like, I literally had the
Yeah,
exact same thoughts. And I was like, ah, this is what my coach was trying to help me with. Because I was like,
yeah,
what am I teaching?
yeah. Because that is
Okay.
more important. Because I think I can come up with a hook, but it's more like when I asked, like at the beginning, is it my overall business, like my overall program, or is it like a webinar about like marketing or
I think
sales
we've decided it's
or
overall.
niche? Do you know what I mean?
I think we
So you
decided
think
it's,
overall?
yeah, let's go overall. Because you've
Okay,
just done one on a niche. So we can do like opposite. So it's like if you did
okay,
one on marketing, let's try something new.
okay. So
Okay.
basically then, so what am I teaching on? So I'm going to be saying that these are the 4 things that you need to nail. Not nail, I won't say it like that, but like to create consistent income and consistent clients, basically. Because that's what the point of the accelerator is.
Yeah. What if it's like the 4 keys to consistency or something like that?
Consistency, no, because
Not compelling.
well, people don't want to be consistent. Like it doesn't sound fun,
Yeah. It
but
was
they
like,
would want
so
consistent clients. So you could say 4 keys to consistent clients, but not just to consistency. I feel like I don't think that would be
or the
like they
four
want the result consistency and say we'll give them, but they don't necessarily like because they view consistency as hard and a slog and whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay. So what are the 4 keys? Boom.
So it's my pillars.
It's your pillars. So
Yeah.
now that you like, it's like, and I get that. I was like, I needed someone to just be like, okay, but yes, like, what am I actually teaching these humans? Because once I know what I'm selling, I can sell the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Like, let's sell the hell out of this. Let's see 4 steps to consistent clients. Sell your
Yeah.
pillars.
So then the question becomes, right? And I understand the setup of a webinar, but I'm like, it's the teaching part of like, how much do you give versus the what, not the how? Do you know what I mean? Like, so you know, obviously you go
So
on
let's think
webinars.
about like actually you watch Chaos to Cash Flow. I'll show you what I did. So I was like, what do I give? I was like, I was like, um, consistency, communication, and constraint. So I was like, I tell them that they're going to need to do some lead generation and they're going to need to spend 30 minutes a day.
Mhm.
They're going to need to post. And I was like, here's an option. I would spend time on this. I would say that you want to market like 3 different topics a week and you want to plan for an hour and a half a week. So I'm telling them the what, or I'm
Yeah.
telling the like,
The what, not the how.
or like, yeah,
Like
exactly.
what they need to do. This is what you need to do, but you're
This
not
is what I would
saying,
recommend.
and this
And
is
I'd be
how I
like,
do it.
and this is why it works.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you need. This is what you'll create. And I'm like, by the
Yeah.
way, working with me, you'll get all that. And it's awesome.
Yeah. That's what I think I need, like an overall, and then that can be my lead magnet, not lead magnet, but like the main thing that I like have as a overview of the business.
Yeah. And just like, then you can be like, hey, you want to learn more on your sales page? You could have that. Maybe
Yeah.
like get one-on-one coaching. I could put Chaos to Cash Flow here or something
Yeah. Okay,
eventually.
cool. Did you make your own slides? Because they were really cool. My slides are always so, not that I think it
Yes.
really actually
Okay.
matters.
I was like, I use this thing called, oh, here, this is the PowerPoint. I'm not going to share the other one with you. It was good, but it like nobody signed up for it. So I'm like,
Which one was that? The six-figure
the
system.
6-figure strategy. So it's in
I
here.
did. I heard you say that in one of your videos. I'm like, I signed up for a consult from that.
But were you on that live?
Yeah.
Well, then so this is right. My mom was the one who wrote down everyone who attended. And I was like, oh, none of the people, she must have missed you.
I'm pretty sure I
That's
was.
hilarious. I'm like,
Or maybe I watched the replay because we were pretty different
that's
times.
that's why I think it was. I think you were at like it was
Yeah,
1 a.m. your
maybe.
time because it was
But
8
my
p.m.
point
my
is,
time.
like, I did sign
You
up. Do you know
actually
what I mean?
did
Like,
like it. Okay. Well,
yeah.
then that's thank you. So I'm like, geez. I was like, I felt like it was shit. And I was like, this
No,
is
it
not
wasn't at
great.
all. Like, I don't think so.
Well, then I'll
That's
share it
your,
with you guys still. I was like, I'm not as like ashamed of said plan. But there's this thing, if you go into the classwork and you go into the slides go, it gives you free resources. You
Mhm.
can and like this the little crown ones are you have to pay for. But
Yeah.
I have like a list of all of my favorites in here. And the reason why I like this opposed to Canvas is like these are um what's it called? They are um Google Slides. So you can download it as a Google slide. And the reason why I like that is if I ever am like, oh shit, there's misinformation on this. I was like, I want to change this. I can always go back and I can change my PowerPoint in here without having to with it. Like if I just change my PowerPoint in here, it'll change on my website too.
Oh, okay.
That's why I like
And,
Google Slides better than Canva slides.
and is that easy enough to just do it? Because I've never done that on a webinar, and I'm like, oh God, I don't want any tech drama when I do it. But like, is it easy just to? I've never used Google Slides.
I was like, oh yeah, it's super easy to use,
Okay.
but I would say then like plan it out. And then if you have extra time, do the slides. You don't need to have slides but if you
Oh no,
wanted
for
to,
sure. I literally whip mine up every last minute. So I'm not they're not precious about my slides, but I just thought yours looked quite cool.
yeah.
Um
Oh, thank you. I was like,
yeah.
genuinely appreciate that. Look,
Yeah, no, totally.
Can I ask
Um
that question though with the with the
the
Google slide?
Gloogles. Yes, of course. Tell me about the Gloogles.
So when you're doing your presentation via Zoom, are you just sharing your screen of the Google slides?
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally it's
but
like this.
last time I did that with PowerPoint and then on my recording, I didn't have my face on it. It was just the,
Oh no.
Oh, I don't know. So I didn't pay for like the webinar version of Zoom.
right.
I'm
I
just
don't,
doing,
I don't have it either. I just, yeah.
so I don't know. That might have been a PowerPoint thing. I will say that like if you go to the replay of any of the things that I have done, you see my
Yeah.
face and you can see exactly what it's like. The do
Okay. Okay. So maybe I'll try it
you
through
can see
Google
me.
Slide. So you just, okay. You see everybody. I got you.
Oh, and Amber was on that. I forgot. Cool.
Yeah, although she didn't speak.
She didn't speak because I didn't ask her. I told her like she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna come." Like literally right before I was like, "Oh, surprise, you're in it." I was like, enjoy.
That's
He
so
was
funny.
literally like, "Oh, cool." And I was like, "Yeah." But I didn't want to like scare her and be like, "Oh, by the way, I know it's like 30 minutes before this webinar, but I also want you to speak at the very beginning." Because she'd be like, "Oh, I'm not coming anymore."
All right. Okay. Okay, cool.
How
So
are you
what did we say
feeling?
the name was of it?
4 steps to consistent clients.
Like, does that sound, guys, in here, does that sound compelling? Would you see that and think that sounds
Be
good?
like, I'm seeing some nods and I'm seeing some and I want to offer it's not like what you call it, it's how you sell it.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're like,
Okay.
this is the best webinar ever, I want you guys to come to the 4 key steps to consistent clients. It is going to
Mm-hmm.
teach you just 4 things. It is so simple to really
Mm-hmm.
get your business up and running in 2024. I want 2023 is over, and that is going to be the year that we didn't really know our focus, we didn't know our protocols, and it was kind of like the lost. It's like if you felt like you were building the plane as you fly it, 2024, no more. This is the
Yeah.
webinar that you want to attend. I want to see you there. It's going to be amazing. We're going to do awesome stuff. I cannot wait to see you there.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
here's how
cool.
I can have those thoughts, even though I know you haven't made it yet, because I believe whatever you create is going to be gold. I'm like, whatever Nadia does is going to be phenomenal. I just like have that belief about you. And I also have that belief about myself. I'm like, I have no idea what this webinar is going to be about. Still haven't
Yeah.
finished my outline.
Yeah.
However, I know whatever I do is going to be kick ass. I was like,
Yeah.
it's going to rock somebody's world. And I just like, if I have that self concept coming back to this, it's like my belief is that like I'm a really good coach and I'm fucking great at teaching. And I'm like, so whatever I teach, I know I'm going to make it good even if I'm working up till midnight doing things last minute like I didn't really want to do, I'm still okay with it because it's like that's just who I am. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, no, I agree. And I do genuinely, I know that sounds silly, not silly, but like I still have a similar belief about myself. I'm like,
yes, as
it
you
doesn't matter.
should.
I can literally create it the night before and I know
It's gonna
that
be badass.
it's going to be good. Like the people that come, my issue is just, I just need to get more people on it. Um, because I seem to, when I realize like I do always get a consult and a client normally as well from webinars. So I need to just work on getting more people on it. That's my
And
focus.
we want to make it like it's like I wonder what would bring like how many more people on it.
I don't know if I could get 10 people on it, it would be amazing.
Okay, cool. So now we just had to figure out we figured out what did you do to get 5 people on it? First off, what were you thinking about the webinar last
It
time?
was kind of fly by the seat of my pants. I actually that whole week I was like considering not even doing it. I wasn't in a great, but I just made myself do it by the end.
Okay, so
But
I'm just going to do it was the old thought. And it
yeah,
worked to get 5 people, which is
yeah,
awesome. So
yeah.
so we know to get 5 people, your thought needed to be, and everybody can do this. Like if we think about any of your results that you created last year, whether it's a number on a webinar, number of clients, income, we can just like bring it down to a model and be like, I'm just going to do it. Created 5 people on the webinar
No, one
and
person.
sorry,
5 people signed
5 people
up.
registering, one
Yeah.
person live, one person booking. So it's like if that is what I want, if I want to get 10 people on, it's like so we got 5 um registered, one live, well 2 live because there was one at the end and one
Yeah.
booked. Were there 2 consults from or just one?
2.
2 consults, 1 booked. If I
Yeah.
want, we've got to figure out what created this result.
Yeah.
And then if I want 10 registered,
No, no, no. We need to have more registered so I can get 10 people on.
okay. So how many people do you want on? So 10 live.
I don't know. I don't know how much that would take. I
Well,
think I've had like
let's
normally when I've done webinars before, I would have like 5 people on or something.
okay, do
And
do
that
like
would maybe have had like, I don't know, 30 people sign up.
okay, so let's do 30 registered, 10 live or
Yeah.
5 live. What do you want to try for?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I would be delighted at 5, but I mean, it's not.
Okay, so
I would want 10. 10 would be amazing, but I've only got a week.
okay.
This is worrying me
So
like a little
we
bit.
can keep like a goal spectrum. So this is
Uh-huh.
what I'm doing. I'm holding space to believe that like I could hit 7 figures next year. And I'm also holding space for like my goal is 300. I was like, my
Mhm.
goal is like anywhere between 300 and a million. I'm like, that would be great. So what if we have this like literally like we're like 5 to 7, 10 to 5 live, 5 to
Yeah.
10,
Okay.
whatever. So how many consults do you want from this webinar on Wednesday?
I mean,
What if we could just like decide that we could like create our own results like with our thoughts or something? Like kind of cool.
ideally, I mean, if I would want like 5 consoles, so that would be amazing.
Okay, so we want to like take like do you see this like level of intentionality into this like intentional model? It's like if this is our goal, we're going to make our best guess as to what creates this result for us. How many more clients would you like?
Well, I want to go up to 10, so I need 8 clients, but I don't need 8 clients this month.
How many would you like this month?
I mean, if I got 2 new clients this month, I would be delighted.
Okay, let's do it. Okay. So before we didn't really have a clear goal, right? We didn't really have this in mind. And that's why doing the first one's the hardest. And it's kind of good to go with like kind of blind. Like I'm just gonna give this a try and we're gonna get data. And each
Yeah.
month getting more and more data. The way I'm doing it is I'm doing a webinar a month this year.
Yeah,
So
me
every
too.
month I'm gonna be like, okay, so if I got just so I can be like, okay, what if this was the result, this was the goal, this was the result, this is what I actually created, then
Mhm.
we can this is the goal result. I was doing this with my client Amy and we were like, okay, so now we have a ton of data. Now she's got a far larger business than I do, but now we've got like a whole thing of data so we can be like, okay, she's used the same webinar topic every single time, which I would not necessarily recommend because I want to switch it up. But now we've got data. She's been in the business for like 10 years, but I'm like, oh, now we can see, okay, how are we on par? How many signups do we have? She launches for like months. So it's like a very different style of business and it's a membership. But so I just want to get more data for you. So
Mhm.
it's like, if this is our goal, what do you want to think about this intentionally? Like, who is the kind of person that creates this? What is she thinking?
So wait a minute, is that my C? I don't
This is your
understand the
C, the
question.
goal. The C is this is
What?
a goal can be a C.
Okay.
So, what do you want to choose to think intentionally about it before you create this webinar?
That I can 100% create that.
Now, do you believe that fully right now?
I think if I put in my 100% effort and stop messing about, then it's possible.
I'm going to bring 100% of my effort and 100% of my effort and learn how to create this. It's like I'm gonna make this happen at some
Yeah.
point. This is my what did you feel for the last webinar?
Oh, there was a lot of like, um,
Blase.
yeah, like um,
Become one of my new
I was
favorites.
just like, this is pointless. I was just really on a downer. Like, this
Yeah,
is
we're just in
like,
a smidge. And you still create a client from a downer energy.
I
Everybody hear
know.
this. You don't need to have perfect thoughts to create results. But
Yeah.
what energy, if you're thinking I want to bring 100% of my energy and effort and learn how to create this, what emotion does that create instead of pointlessness?
If I'm thinking I'm going to bring 100% of my effort to learn how to create this, I'm going to feel like, what's the word? Determined.
What did you do for the last one? How many posts? How many outreach?
Well, I don't think I maybe
Emails?
I think I maybe like invited a couple of people,
How many?
two maximum, like personally invited.
How many would you like to invite this time?
Um, low as many as possible. Well, because I'm starting to do more chatting, then I've got more people that I can just be like, hey, do you want to come to my webinar?
Let's give it a number.
Okay. I mean, you can't ask that many two people, right? So if I asked,
Between now and then, you can ask 50 people a day max. Or else you I asked 90 people in a day, and that's why I got blocked. So
yeah,
8 days, that'd be 400 people.
yeah, I don't think that is a realistic, like, I don't think I'm going to put that because I don't think I'll do it. And I don't want to then be like, oh, like, whatever. So if I
Okay.
think, if I invite, if I am personally invite 20 people a day.
Okay. So how many would that, okay, so if we got 20 people a day, just look at your followers. That's 160 people. Let's give it a try. People a
Yeah.
day.
And then I'm going to post.
And what you can do is make a video. Make a video being like,
Okay.
hey, thank you so much for following me. I know it's been a while, but I wanted to let you know I'm doing this webinar. I would love to see you. It's like here's a registration link. Let me know if you want to come.
Do
Register if
you
you want to
think
come.
though, sorry, just think you're saying, do you not think, like, do you think I should do that, like as a, because that's quite cold, I'm thinking, like, if I've never spoken to them and then I just send video inviting them, do you think it'd be better? In my head, I'm like, I should chat a bit, or like at least strike up a conversation first, or am I just overthinking it? What do you think?
I want you to think back to the advice you gave Alicia. They wouldn't have
Yeah.
followed if they weren't interested. What if they're all
Yeah, but they
warm
could have
leads?
followed ages ago. I'm just going to go through all my followers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
What if they did? It's like, so, but we can choose that they're warm at any point if they follow me.
yeah, okay, fair. Okay, fair point. That's so funny.
Alicia's like, yep.
So I actually wrote down when Alicia was getting coached, I was laughing because I saw her 2000 group and I was like, she's insane. There's millions of people in there that want to. But then I was like, but I don't have those thoughts about my 2000 Instagram followers.
That's
To me, I'm
literally what
like,
I
that
was gonna
doesn't
throw
count.
up.
That's not the
I was like,
same.
mm-hmm. I was like, literally our brains, guys. It's
That's
like,
so I know,
interesting.
exactly, totally. But
Literally,
I'm like,
like
no, it's
almost,
different. They've opted into a
it's
group.
so
I don't know
different.
why. That's so
I
funny.
know. I was like, it's so different. We're just gonna choose to like omit that thought for sure. Today is the day we believe that people are actually interested in what we buy or what they
Yeah,
sign up
fine.
for. So, okay, so let's talk with them. Be like, hey, it's like, I know it's been a while. Let's start the year strong. I would love for you to come to this webinar. Here's the link. No pressure. Sign up if you want.
Yeah, for sure.
What
No, I
I
can do
did
that.
though, just for 160, if you're really doing this to 160 people, when I first started my business, I literally messaged every single one of them by hand and waited for a response. And then people actually started responding and being like, I would love to come. And I was like, I haven't even wrote my webinar yet. Oh God. And then I was
Oh
like, oh, now
yeah.
I need to add them to Flowdesk. And I had to do all of it by hand. It would just be easier if you just had a link to send them to so that they could sign up. Because I
Yeah,
would
no,
be
I'll
like,
get
what's
that
your
prepped. I'll get my
email?
landing page, my sign up form prepped
Okay.
first. Because all I
Okay.
need is a title. The webinar I'll probably create the day before, but all I need is a title
And
and a
I literally
landed sign up page for them for me to send it to people.
like, even if you were to be like, it's like, you could say something like, obviously, like, not like crazy, but I'm like, the way that it's like, if you're like, this is the best webinar, it is
Mhm.
it's like if you sell it in a way that your thoughts are aligned. I sold 9 humans into the business fulfillment initiative and I had no idea what I was talking about. I asked them what their confidence are with their revenue goals. I asked like literally, I know you saw that. I was like, I'm sure I've shown this before, but it was literally like on the consult. I was like, so what are your revenue goals? And they were like, what is have I? And I was like, how
No,
does
you
just
said
management
what do I feel? What do you feel about revenue or
what
something
do you
like
feel
that? And they're
about it?
like,
I was like, and they were just like, what? And they was like, okay, tell me about stress management and simultaneously confidence running your business.
ah,
Tell me about like do you have systems or time and finances? Do you have a future plan or what's your confidence to achieve your goals? And people were probably like, Demetria, I don't know what you like. I'm so glad that you signed up. I was like, I literally like, I have no idea. But I was like, I can help you. I was like, I'm looking at this. I don't know how to really communicate that I can help you,
Yeah.
but I'm willing to just like put this shit out there and be like, I really, really think that like in some capacity, the things that I've created could help you. I don't know how to explain that yet, but it's like because I was so sold on it. I was literally just like, because my thoughts were like, this is like everything that I wish I had gotten from like other things that I had been in. I was like, and I literally like just went to work and created this like in a weekend. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh my God, this is it. Like I just remember sitting and I was in this hotel in Orlando and I was like, oh my God, people need this. I was like,
Yeah.
this is good. I was like, oh my God. And so then I wasn't even a business coach at the time. I wasn't even a business coach. And I was like, so surprise, I'm changing my positioning. I am now going from the career fulfillment initiative to the business fulfillment initiative. No longer do career coaching. And by the way, I'm launching a group. Surprise.
That's
My
funny.
followers are like, what? But I figured it out. So how many posts
Okay.
back to you. Sorry for that rant, everybody.
No, you're
I
fine.
hope everyone finds that at least entertaining that it believe like your belief really will sell the humans. I
Yeah.
sold 9 people into that group
Yeah.
with no prior positioning, nothing. And I was just like, I really believe in this. So I want you to think about like how many posts and reels you did for the last one.
I mean, I can't remember, but probably, I don't know, probably posted 4 or 5.
Okay. How many would you like to do to bring in, if we got 5, 6 times the amount of people?
Well, I could do more. I mean, I really don't remember how many I did, but like, um,
If you posted a reel and a post you could do it daily. You don't have to, but
yeah. And
there,
what's creeping in just now, right? It's like I'm following my sort of like 1 week we do this content, next week we do this content. But if I'm selling a webinar on like the overarching of it, what should my content category be? Does that make sense?
so
That's what's
yeah,
just
that's a great question. So for anybody who does want to do an overall webinar, what you can do is I make the pillar, I change it to 6 figure systems. And then I assign
okay.
whatever pillar that was to the next week after.
Okay. And so when you say that, that's your pillar of 6 figure systems. I'm just trying to think like how am I going to like
What do
translate that
what
into
do cold people need to hear about the like I would change this to 6 figure systems. My
Mhm.
cold would be like, here's why you need to join and you could honestly make the pillar webinar and you can make this one 6 figure systems if you wanted to and be like, we're selling the webinar. And then this week we're selling the program. Now within the
Okay.
program, what do cold people need to hear?
Within when I'm selling the
To
program.
sign up for this webinar, what do cold people need to hear? Why did you create this webinar? It goes from why marketing is important to you to like why this webinar is important to you.
Right. So it's like I'm thinking like the webinar for cold people is that they're like where they're at is just confusion. They're throwing spaghetti at the wall, they're trying all the things, they're like going hot and cold with like marketing and then hating it and just ups and downs. Like that's where they're at. So I'm like, this is the simple system that you need that will take you from chaos. I'll not steal your title, but like from
You can go
absolute
for it.
chaos
I was like, it's like chaos to cash flow. It's like that I do
chaos to
not
consistent clients.
chaos to consistent clients. Go for it. I was like, seriously. I was like, I do not feel weird about it in the slightest because I don't know how I was like, I really don't think we'll have as much overlap. But if we're thinking about that, so we want chaos to consistent clients, what we want to do here is we could be like, okay, so within that pre-webinar week, why is this important for you? Do you why do you want to teach them these 4 key steps? What did you feel that you struggled with?
Because it's a road, like I want to give them the roadmap. I think everybody's just, and everyone's focusing on the wrong thing, not the wrong thing. I shouldn't say
Did you
that, but like, yeah.
like why did you decide to create this? Because you were like, I don't want like I spent years struggling when I was building my first couple businesses. I finally figured it out and I don't want you to have to suffer like I did.
Well, I didn't actually find any years struggling in my other businesses. It's only been the coaching that's, do you know what I mean? But I think it's
Yeah.
just a different market. Like my other two businesses, went really
Well,
well,
so
really
what's a
quick,
way
and
that they
they're
could
fine.
connect to you on an emotional level? How could they connect
So the
to you?
reason why I created this is because I'm like, I have a passion for coaching. I want coach. I know how transformational it is because it changed my life completely. No matter, even though I had successful businesses, I still have a lot of shit to do, right?
Yes.
So I believe fully in the thingy of coaching, and I want to help other women,
Yes.
like, because I know most coaches, they just want to coach, but they don't know how to they don't know how to articulate what they do, they don't know how to market, they don't know how to sell, so that
Yep.
they're like, their skill is going to, not as sounds extreme, but like die with them if they don't figure this
Yes.
out. So like
No, I
really,
totally agree. So it's like, and like, I feel like, so it's like, we want to be like, it's like coaching changed my life completely, and I want to change your business completely.
yeah,
Change business. And then this is where we say, like, I have such a passion for coaching. This is my mission. So
yeah.
it's like, this is where it's like change business with webinar. And
So you're
then,
doing like 1 week and then the second week?
yep, this is
Yeah,
next week.
okay.
Passion for coaching. I want to transform your business in 2024. Now, here you want to be like warm leads. It's like join the program. Here's what you get,
Yeah,
and then a testimonial. So that would
yeah.
be 12. Because it's
How's that 12?
each topic you would do a post and a reel. So you'd be
Okay,
like, so 12 altogether.
yeah.
How many emails would you want to send to your audience?
So what I'll do is what I did last week, last time, I had my like 5 like email sequence. So anyone that does sign up, like I feel like I can get that down. But I am going to start emailing my actual list because I've never really done that. And I'm
How
going
many people
to,
are on your actual list?
not many, only about 100 people. It's not a lot.
Okay, do you know how long it took for me to get 100 people on my email list?
Pardon?
Do you know how long it took me to get 100 people on my email list? Like 10 years. Like, and the crazy thing is, like, now I've got, yeah, anyway, so, like, it's like not many. I'm like, you only need 2 of 100, so it's 2%.
Yeah. Yeah, Alicia, I'm listening to my own advice that I said to you.
Yes.
It's never the same when it's you though. Like that's so funny. Okay,
It
so
never
I'm going to
is.
email my list. I'm probably going to email them about.
How many before?
Oh, but here's the drama. I'm like, well, if I've never emailed them, if I just go straight in with selling, but then I suppose I'm selling them value. I'm not selling them a product, so that's
And
okay.
you,
I've cleared
what
that
if you
up.
wrote an email per, what if you just took the post for this and you sent the email?
Yeah. Okay.
So you do 6
So
emails.
I could do then what, 6? Yeah. Okay. Go.
How does that feel? Like, let's keep the same
Yeah, I think that's
determination.
good. I think I have a
I'm gonna
plan.
freaking bring it.
Yeah, for sure.
Excite. So proud of you.
Okay, cool. It's another test, which is exciting. I'm
Yes!
like,
We're just getting data.
yeah, exactly.
I love. Oh,
Cool. Thank you
so
so
proud of you.
much. That was really
Of
helpful.
course, of course, of course. I can't wait to hear how it goes. And feel free to bring more coaching next Tuesday for sure.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Of course. Who else wants some coaching? Sweet
I do.
trio.
I have a quickie. I think it's a
Yes,
quickie.
let's do
So
it.
I was just thinking about this and I was about to post something.
Mhm.
But I don't want to confuse. So what I want to do is post and invite people to download my 30-minute 3-year plan. That's my free offer to get
Mhm.
on my email list. But I was going to post something about because I just was commenting on another person's page because they were talking about having the bags in the car to donate. And one of the
Yes.
things I did with my friend was like we had time blocked out, but the last hour was to leave the house and go donate the items. So I was going to post something about that, but and it is one of my pillars, like your environment or whatever, but I don't want to be all over the board. So then I was just thinking maybe just do that as like an email or something to my email list. Do you know what I mean? Like
Why not do both?
is that not confusing people?
To send the exact same email to that you just did it as a post?
No, I mean to post about that tip about after you clean out your closet, take it, set aside
Oh,
time that day to take it
uh,
away. And
okay.
then
So
like to have a post about my 30-minute 3-year plan.
coming back to what we were talking about at the very beginning about like what is the next step we want them to take.
Hmm.
I want you to think about from that. I know what you're saying now. So you're saying that like, is it confusing what I'm posting? And I think it's only confusing if there's not a clear next step. So we want the clear next step to be work with you. I create a plan so that like we could actually create your goals. We can, or it's like we can actually curate your environment,
Right.
right? So instead of teaching them the how, which is like this has been such a good call. It's like so it's like I think that you were saying that the post is to keep an hour blocked out so you donate items, right?
Hmm.
Because like so it's like you're teaching them the how, which may or the what to do.
Hmm.
This is the what. And if they get the what to do, their next step is to do that. Versus if you teach them the why, or I feel like I'm getting all these words confused, but it was like, do you know what I mean? It's like then we want to teach them the why, curating their time to curate their environment is important. For instance, I do this with my clients. I make sure that we plan their schedule so that when we're actually curating their closet, we do this, then they want to work with you. So I think that like if coming to you, what is your goal for this quarter or for this month? How many clients do you want to sign?
I am working on sending the next one.
The
Like
next, okay, so if we
the
want to
next
sign
one is
one
what I'm
client,
focused on. Yeah.
let's focus on that. Okay, so we want to
Okay.
sign one of these humans, okay?
Right.
We what can we say that about this, about putting yourself in the position? I think that you're giving really, really I think that it's like this is valuable. And
Hmm.
what we want to do is we want to give them value even more by working with you. And
Okay.
I noticed that you said that like my plan is to invite people to download the 30-minute 3-year plan. What Alicia was saying at the very beginning was like about like having that as a piece of her funnel. Like so she was like, okay, I'll do Hiker Fit. That's a piece of my funnel. Once they do Hiker Fit, then they'll work with me. I'm
Right.
thinking that's what you're saying. So you're like saying that like if they do the 30-minute 3-year plan, then they'll work with me after they do that because they'll be on my email list and I'll do that from there.
Yeah. Well, that's my free offer.
Right,
So
right.
like I want to continue to promote that to get people on my email list. But I just had this idea because I saw it on somebody's post that they've been driving around for I don't know how long with stuff in their car. And I'm like, I make sure that we block an hour to do
Yep.
that. So
So
am
it's
I
like,
not telling them that or
so I'm saying that like you want to tell them that with the positioning of the next step being like, so it's like if we're thinking about this post and your goal is to get more people on your email list by
Mhm,
doing the 30-minute 3-year plan, this, I think you're saying that like it doesn't match. So it's like that you're saying that this hour to donate items isn't necessarily leading them into like booking the 30-minute 3-year plan.
mhm,
So I'm saying that like instead of just going them the call to action at the end, instead of
mhm,
being like, by the way, download the 30-minute 3-year plan, I think a clearer call to action, a less confusing call to action would be to work with you. And so if the purpose is to work with you because you teach them this, I would say that then you want to think about the way that you say it. So you want to, it's not about like you're telling them it's like the reason why it's like if you're driving around with bags to donate in your car or things in your house, it's because you haven't curated your time intentionally so that you can then curate your environment. One of the things that I heard is like a friend of mine, she was driving around with these bags of donations for the past 3 months and they've just been sitting in her car. And I don't want you to have to do that. That's why I teach my clients how to block out their time so they actually include time to donate the items instead of just time to declutter. I would love to work with you and teach you how to curate your environment and we'll do all the planning together. So you don't even need to worry about like creating all this on your own. Sign up for a consult to work with me and we can and it's like and I'll show you how. And then sending that same email to your like list,
right.
I think would be great. But do you see the
Okay.
difference of like I think maybe that's why the confusion, but tell me if that lands.
So that lands and that's fantastic, but I was gonna do two separate posts and I just don't know if I'm posting about two separate things. If
You were gonna do
that's
two separate
confusing.
posts about like the block. What were the
One
two?
about the blocking the time and
Mhm.
that tip, and then one about the 30-minute 3-year plan, like download this.
Okay.
Like it was just gonna be two separate posts, totally not
Okay.
related.
Okay. So what would be the call to action with the blocking time post?
It would be schedule a consultation with me.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So within that, I would send, and then the 30-minute 3-year plan. What's
Just
the,
they download it and they do that, and that's to get them on my
that's the
email.
call to action, right?
Yeah.
What would be the post about this one?
It's a post about the journey being easier if you know where you're going. So I have a picture of just like a long road with no place at the end. So
Yeah.
it's a post about knowing where you're going and making making the journey easier.
And which pillar is this week? Is it direction or is it um which is it organization?
Well, it would be direction. I think it would be direction.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then I would write the post like so it's like if we're talking about direction this week and it's like you are like then from that lens then you can talk about blocking your time. It's like from a directional standpoint and I think this is like about like because you can sell like the 30-minute 3-year plan for each. I think that this is like what you're almost saying is like going to be either your cold post or a bonus post of the week.
Okay.
Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. So if it's a cold, which would you prefer? That this is for your cold leads or a bonus post?
Cold leads probably.
Okay. So that's where we talk about direction. And I want you to share in here about your personal story about why your journey was difficult because you didn't know where you were going. The 30-minute 3-year plan helped you and you got there.
Okay.
So it's like, and have you ever heard this, the hero's journey?
Yes.
Okay. So we want to make you the hero. And hey, look at that. Perfect. Okay. So we want to be like, it's like, how are you super relatable to them? What makes you stand out to them? Why are they going to stop their scroll hearing your story and
Okay.
being like, oh my God, I am Demetria 3 years ago. Then for the time blocking, it's like if you donate without direction, it's like donate without direction. You'll drive around for 30 minutes with it's like you'll drive around for 3 months with bags in your back seat.
Okay.
Look at all that alliteration. It's like I just you know what I mean? I'm like I feel like
Right.
Dr. Seuss up in here. I'm like so it's like we want to like block our time. It's like I teach you how to donate with direction. It's like this is what I do. It's like what I call time blocking that gives them a vague enough understanding that they don't need to like have that here. And I think we go hard call. It's like we definitively decide exactly when you're going to donate it. I teach you how to block the time for it and then bringing it back to your pillars so it's really centered and strong. Like when I work with Demetria, I get this, this, and this. It's value with a like the direct purpose of being like, let's go.
Okay.
So how does that feel?
Good. Good.
I was like, because I was
Oh,
just
you know, like that word. Fantastic.
fantastic. I was like, great. Because it's like we want to like just always be bringing them back. And I want you to share a story like about like it, like for your testimonials being like, it's like I want to tell you about like the time when my client she needed direction and she needed the direction with like donate like it's like bringing it back to that
Yeah.
client. That before and after was phenomenal. And I would love for you to like share her story. It's like she had like if it's like this is kind of like a testimonial, but like do another one like that.
Right. Yeah, she's writing a thing for me. So
Oh,
she's doing it like testimonial review. So will be using that. And that was just one picture. Like we have so many more. So
use
that's gonna be a
all the
lot of content.
pictures.
It's gonna
Oh
be
my
a
God.
lot of content. So
And you
yeah.
can like think about like organization for next week and use that as content.
Mhm.
You can think about confidence. You can think about like the 3-year vision. Like you can tie
Right.
all of that into like just not just, but like the incredible home organization that you created with her.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
So
Awesome.
amazing.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for you. Let's sign these clients, people.
Yes.
5, it was like we've got 5, 2, 1, next one. I'm like, these are so possible. More than possible. And I was like, and also planning. I love Harmonies. I was trying to like read it. And I was like, I love this. Oh, also, can you share the outlines you just went over? I missed that, Demetria. What was the outline that you were looking for?
The work that you did with Nadia, the
Oh, yeah, yeah. Nadia, is that
beginning.
okay with you? Okay, awesome. So I'll
Awesome.
share just like the overview. Obviously,
Okay.
like yours will not be about like
Right.
working with
Exactly. But I just kind
businesses.
of like the way you outlined it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it was so good. And so
Awesome.
just thinking about like, what is their next question? How can I be the answer? You know?
Yeah.
So good. Well, I love you
Awesome.
guys. I'm going to share all these notes with you. I cannot wait to see you next week. And if you have any questions, post in the group and I've got you.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.